Hi, everybody. It's time for the Emotional Intelligence Show. And we're going to talk about when really scary things happen. And the reason I wanted to talk about this today is because a lot of really scary things have been happening not only in my life and your life, but also in our culture. Today is August 7th, 2019, and we've had a lot of shocks with a lot of shooting. I hate to call it shootings. We've had mass murderers gun down innocent people who were just doing everyday things. And then on a personal level, what I'm experiencing is right now a lot of things that I thought would happen the way that I pictured them happening are not happening. So it's completely shifting the trajectory of my life and what I thought I would be doing. And I am struggling with the uncertainty, like the not knowing. Sorry about the glare. But yeah, I'm struggling with, oh, that's better. I'm struggling with not knowing what my next step is and wanting to step into a life that isn't coming together the way that I thought it would. And I've had some shocks this week, things that I thought would continue on and that I was depending on them to continue on, or all of a sudden not happening anymore. And it can bring up a lot of self-doubt and also like blame. You know, it's common in our culture to blame ourselves and other people when things don't go the way that we want them to or think they should. But while it is good to look for cause and effect and to try to analyze what happens to further your understanding, the blame part I feel is kind of a waste of time. I just feel like whatever we're all doing, these are the results of our actions, and if we're not getting the kind of results we want, then maybe we need to look at our actions, or maybe I think what's common is to want something so bad that you cut corners or you go against your intuition, and then you have the result that you have. That's not the result you wanted. So the reason I wanted to talk about this is how hard it can be to feel your feelings when you're having so many feelings at once and they're very intense. So if you get a shock or something really unexpected happen, you're gonna feel anger, sadness, and fear all at the same time or in rapid succession. And it's going to be intense. It's been very intense for me. It's been intense, unsettling, deeply disappointing. And what I've endeavored to do is to feel my feelings as best as I can. And sometimes I can't. Sometimes I just, it's too much. And there's a tendency to think that all the work that I've done in emotional intelligence isn't working. But even though there have been, times during the past week where I couldn't feel my feelings, I didn't want to, in the back of my mind, I know that I can and I will from practice. And I know that, sorry, I'm fiddling with this. I know that the feelings will wait for me. And that's why, people say time heals all wounds and it's just a matter of time. I have never found that to be true. Those feelings wait for me until I can process them, even if it's years later. And my goal is to process in the moment so that I don't have to revisit it later. But as I said, I have struggled to do this week because the intensity and so many, emotions at once. And this is all really normal. And I would like to leave you with some tips or ideas to get through a situation like this when it feels so overwhelming. And I mean, I could say all of the regular things like make sure you get a good night's sleep, but it's hard to sleep when you're, facing big changes that you didn't expect. And you don't know what your next step is, but I still try to get some sleep. I would say the biggest thing that helped me through is just remembering that right here in this moment, I'm fine. And right here in this moment, you're fine. And even if we can't see what the next step is, and even if we feel overwhelmed, in this moment, you can always just look at your feet and say, this is where I am right now, and I'm okay, and you're okay too. And that has helped me to get through these very difficult feelings. So if you're experiencing something really scary, whether it's in your life or in your community, and you start to feel overwhelmed by anger, sadness, fear, just stop and look where you are and just check and see if you're okay in this moment. I know you want to be okay forever in the future. I do. That's what I want. I think it's normal to want that. But sometimes things happen and we just don't know. We don't know what's next. But have faith in. Another thing I do is have faith in everything that I've come through. So no matter how old you are, you have come through and worked through so many things. And if you're facing a big, scary situation right now, or some really big changes, and it's daunting, just remember everything you've done up until this point, you still know how to do all those things. You still have all of those talents and skills, and you still have that ability. So I hope this helps if you have been through scary things, if you're going through scary things like I am right now, just remember to stop, look at your feet, remember where you're standing, ask yourself if you're okay. And if you can even go a little step beyond that and say, is there one thing I could be grateful for in this moment? So there you have it for this week's Emotional Intelligence Show. It's a little shorter, and that might be a good thing. I know that I talk a lot and sometimes share so much that it's too much to digest. But if you would like to work on your emotional intelligence skills so you can tap into the wisdom of your emotions, even when it's hard and overwhelming, I can help you with that. I'm very good at this, and I think it's very important. I'm very passionate about it. It's life-changing, tapping into the wisdom of your emotions. And it can help you create the life you want to live. And sometimes there are some big shifts because the life we want could be really different from the one we have. And sometimes things have to go in order to make way for new things, even if it was unexpected and not what we thought. So join me next Wednesday, 4 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time, for the next Emotional Intelligence Show. And if you have any questions about emotional intelligence, or you want to learn about a particular topic, or you have a situation in your life and you'd like to see how emotional intelligence can help you, please feel free to contact me at theemotionalintelligenceschool.com. There's a contact page in the tabs on the upper right. I respond to emails within 24 hours, unless it's on the weekend. So thank you so much for joining me. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please like and share and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Aloha.